16 साल की उम्र में हम क्या कर रहे थे? What were we doing? You know, ask any 16-year-old even today. I am sure, you talk to 1,000 of them, 999 उनमें से they won't have the clarity which way their life is heading. उन्होंने या तो नॉन मेडिकल स्ट्रीम ली होगी, या कॉमर्स स्ट्रीम ली होगी, या मेडिकल स्ट्रीम ली होगी, या आर्ट्स में होंगे. They would be telling कि इसके बाद हम देखेंगे 12th के बाद करने का तो ये सोचा है, लेकिन let's see how life takes a turn और हम आगे जाके क्या करें. But there are very few people, and that's what makes him the rarest of the rare, who have such clarity at such a tender age when you can fall on either side of the wall that you are running on. Because making a career is like running on a wall that is just about 12 inches wide. आप थोड़ा भी astray गए, इधर उधर आपका ध्यान भटका, आप नीचे गिरेंगे. But at 16 years of age, our next guest in episode 6 of Leaders Today, yes, none other than Gaurav Bhagat, who is the biggest name when it comes to sales and marketing training in this country. He started his business when he was in school at 16 years of age. Thank you so much, Gaurav Bhagat, for being over here with us. बहुत अच्छा लगा आप आए. मैं आपको काफ़ी फॉलो करता हूँ, फेसबुक पे हम फ्रेंड्स भी हैं, और साक्षात आपके सामने बैठते हुए मुझे बहुत 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 खुशी हो रही है. एंड थैंक यू फॉर अपलिफ्टिंग द प्लेटफॉर्म बाय कमिंग ओवर हियर.
थैंक यू फॉर हैविंग मी सुदर्शन, एंड इट इज़ माय प्लेजर. और आपने बोला कि 16 साल की उम्र पे स्टार्ट किया. उस टाइम शायद कम लोग थे जो 16 की एज पे स्टार्ट करते हैं. आज तो लगता है कि सभी 10, 12, 13 के अंदर मतलब बड़ी बड़ी कॉर्पोरेशन चला रहे हैं. सो टाइम्स हैव चेंज्ड.
डेफिनेटली.
बट ऑफ कोर्स 1992 व्हेन आई वाज 16 इयर्स ओल्ड, इट वाज अ डिफरेंट टाइम, एंड ऑल माय फ्रेंड्स यूज्ड टू ऑलवेज लुक एट मी एंड तू कर क्या रहे हैं, मतलब ट्रम्प कार्ड्स बना रहा है, गेम्स बना रहा है, स्टॉक मार्केट में लगा हुआ है. ऑफ कोर्स हर्षद मेहता का टाइम था. सो इंटरेस्टिंग टाइम्स, एंड आई थिंक दैट्स वेयर द जर्नी बिगैन. एंड यस, आई थिंक अ लॉट ऑफ क्रेडिट हैज टू गो टू माय पेरेंट्स who said that you can be an entrepreneur even at that age. My school principal had actually called my parents and they said आपका लड़का जो है अपना पढ़ने आता है कि धंधा करने आता है. Thankfully,
obviously,
and thankfully they said that it's okay, do what you do, follow what you're passionate about. And I think things worked out better.
No, I would really say, and शत नमन आपके पेरेंट्स को इस बात के लिए, क्योंकि I have always seen this. और आप अगर अपनी गर्दन घुमा के देखेंगे किसी भी तरफ, इंडिया में there is a thing that I feel there is a problem with parenthood. उनको लगता है कि legends like Sachin Tendulkar or Donald Trump or anybody who is a big name in the industry in any field can be born next door but not in our house. I have battled this and I have seen so many parents go through this kind of a thing. They don't believe, उनके अंदर वो विश्वास ही नहीं होता कि ऐसा हो सकता है, और that's why आपके पेरेंट्स को I think many regards and शत नमन की, उन्होंने वो अलाउ किया, उन्होंने वो देखा. I do not know उन्होंने आगे इतनी देख लिया होगा या नहीं, बट मन की करने के लिए ना it takes a lot of guts.
Of course, and उस टाइम ऐसा था कि career options were limited. I mean, you didn't have the kind of opportunities जो आज सबके पास हैं. And at that time also a lot of my friends were being pushed towards being engineers, doctors, the stereotypical जो options होते हैं हमारे पास. बट जब मैंने बताया कि मैं ये करना चाहता हूँ, या मैंने एक टाइम बोला कि मैं स्टॉक मार्केट में जाके ब्रोकर बनना चाहता हूँ, तो भेज दिया दरियागंज में. उस टाइम दिल्ली स्टॉक एक्सचेंज होती थी. जाओ एक दिन जाके देखो. मैंने देखा यार ऐसा तो कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा. सो इट डिडंट रियली वर्क आउट, बट आई थिंक दे लेट मी डू व्हाट आई वांटेड टू डू. एंड थैंकफुली टुडे आई हैव यंग चिल्ड्रन. एक 16 साल का लड़का है, 12 साल की लड़की है. तो जब वो भी बोलते हैं कि पापा या मम्मी हमें ये ट्राई करना है, वी लाइक डू इट. पढ़ाई तो होती रहेगी, आप
तब आपको वो याद आता होगा कि आप क्या बोलते थे उस टाइम पे. Isn't it? That must be so nostalgic.
So true.
है ना? To look at that and मतलब उस measure के अंदर उसको देखना.
100%.
Right?
100%.
How does it feel, Gaurav? Multiple businesses today. You are followed by thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs. मतलब they flock and they form a line whenever a Gaurav Bhagat Academy का जब भी कोई नया कोर्स स्टार्ट होता है, या कहते हैं कि okay, this batch is going to start now, and you're on road to become I think you're almost 100 crore company in coaching, which is something fabulous. मतलब इंडिया में उस लेवल पे उठने के लिए बहुत जिगरा चाहिए.
Yeah, so again, I think been blessed, very lucky. Also being someone who was a poker player growing up, I would always say that poker and life similarities हैं, luck है, थोड़ी बहुत स्किल है, थोड़ा सा साइकोलॉजी है. So I think things fell right, the cards played out like they should. And so when you say a 100 crore company, not the coaching company, but some of the other businesses are on the verge of getting there. In the space of coaching, I think हमें बहुत सम्मान मिला है, रिस्पेक्ट मिला है, इज्जत मिली है, क्योंकि आज अगर देखा जाए अनफॉर्चुनेटली थोड़ा बहुत इस लाइन के अंदर ट्रस्ट डेफिसिट है.
Absolutely.
लोग कहते हैं कुछ डिलीवर करते हैं, कुछ 99 रुपए में आके लपेटते हैं.
मैं काफी कोचेस से बात कर चुका हूं, some very good friends that I have, उनसे बात होती तो मैं यही कहता हूं कि you take a set of marbles in your hand, you throw them in a crowd, half of them will fall on coaches and half of them will fall on digital marketing professionals. That is what it is, so flooded. So that's why the trust deficit.
And the other aspect is gifting companies, right? Then so my original company is a gifting company and Consortium is a gifting company. And उसके अंदर भी when I would have a conversation with someone and जैसे आप क्या करते हो और मैं उनको बताता था मेरी गिफ्टिंग कंपनी है, मतलब लोग ऐसे भागते थे कि पता नहीं मैंने क्या बोल दिया कि मैं ड्रग डीलर हूँ या आतंकवाद हूँ, मतलब भागते थे लोग, मतलब the conversation would end right there and they'd be like, oh okay, and they would just run. So it's an interesting space, and then you come from there and you are today a coach, speaker and mentor, and consultant to many companies. आज आपका उठना बैठना कंपनी के सीईओ से है. जब आप गिफ्ट सप्लाई करते थे तो आपको बोला जाता था कार्टन पीछे छोड़ के आप चले जाना. So it's a big shift, but again, like I said, just blessed the fact that the GBA and the entire 10x movement is being able to do what it's doing, and the companies that we impact and the people we're able to give back to. I think that's fantastic as well.
Yeah. So one thing I would like to ask is, see, there are many people who are serial entrepreneurs. They are wearing multiple hats at the same time. But more or less, their professions are aligned somewhere, which makes it easier for them to form an umbrella.
Right.
Gifting and coaching are nowhere close to each other. So how do you manage that? आपने वो कैसे किया? What was the inspiration behind the entire coaching? I think coaching बाद में start हुआ था, gifting पहले. If I can make out, with this discussion now, I am able to understand that part.
No, you're 100% right. And you're right that even professions wise they're very very different. And हमेशा लोग मेरे से आके बात करते थे, पूछते थे कि आप और कुछ नहीं करते, मतलब आपका सिर्फ यही प्रोफेशन है. एंड आई थिंक वन टाइम आई वाज ऑन अ फ्लाइट फ्रॉम दिल्ली टू बागडोगरा एंड आई वाज रीडिंग अ बुक व्हिच ऑल योर लिसनर्स ऑफ द शो शुड actually read, and the book is Start With Why by Simon Sinek, right? And when I started reading that book, I said, maybe my life purpose is to do something more, to do something else, maybe there has to be a bigger thing that's out there for me. एंड इंटरेस्टिंगली उसके बाद एक के बाद एक ऐसे इवेंट्स हुए. टोनी रॉबिन्स का एक सिंगापुर में एक सेशन अटेंड किया, इट्स कॉल्ड अनलीश द पावर विद इन. उसके 2 हफ्ते के बाद मैं लास वेगस में था, ग्रांट कार्डोन मेरे से मिले, एंड ग्रांट कार्डोन इज मिस्टर 10x, मतलब ही इज द ओरिजिनल मिस्टर 10x, राइट? एंड टुडे ही इज अ बिलियनर. ओके, व्हाइल एट द एज ऑफ 26 ही वाज ब्रोक एंड अ ड्रग एडिक्ट एंड एट जीरो. तो जीरो से बिलियन वो पहुंचे अपना 10x के साथ. और जब हमने उनकी जो कोचिंग है अपनी कंपनी में अप्लाई की, गिफ्टिंग कंपनी में, 6 महीने के अंदर हमारा टर्नओवर जस्ट डबल चला गया था. By virtue of this, and when he and I met, he started crying. And if anyone follows Grant Cardone online, Grant Cardone is a very strong personality, like an alpha male. And he started crying and he said, भाई अगर मैं कल मर गया ना तो अमेरिका के बाहर, मे बी पार्ट्स ऑफ कनाडा एंड लैटिन अमेरिका को छोड़ के मुझे कोई जानता भी नहीं होगा. तो मुझे ऐसे लोग चाहिए, right? जो मेरा कंटेंट मतलब दुनिया तक पहुंचा पाए.
Legacy has to go on.
Right? Yes.
Absolutely. I always believe in that.
And on the spot, I said, I'm on. He said, अभी तैयार भी नहीं है. February 2018, and he said, not even ready right now. I said, whenever you're ready, I'll be your first licensee. Okay, and I signed up on the spot on a blank paper. I said, here it is. I said, whenever you're ready, it's going to happen. It was just meant to be, right? And today everyone sees me and they said, okay, you're a living example of everything that you teach. And I think Joe, trust deficit.
What was the reason for you to take that plunge? I mean, like जैसे आप बता रहे हो, on a blank piece of paper, you just signed.
It was belief because I had already used him for Consortium. In 6 months we had doubled our top line. I've been selling all my life. बातचीत हमारी हो रही थी कि 16 साल की उम्र पे मैंने पहली कंपनी स्टार्ट की. 6 साल की उम्र पे I was already an entrepreneur. I was already doing I had a comic library and I was doing a whole bunch of things. Even at the age of 6. So I've always been selling all my life. Sales was just what it was meant to be. Grant Cardone is someone I believed in, and I think जब आपके अंदर किसी चीज़ की capability है, and then you actually see a medium or a vehicle which can help you take it to the next level. That's how the conversation.
I would like to know something beyond all this that you're telling, क्योंकि these are possible because you yourself have a belief system. आपका एक सोचने का सलीका, एक तरीका है. आप अपने आप से कुछ कहते होंगे. आप अपने आप को मोटिवेट करने के लिए आगे बढ़ते होंगे ना. There are so many things. things, though you have met so many people. So life में कुछ ऐसे भी वाक़े होंगे जब those would have been challenging for you yourself. Something that could, you know, tell people that कोई भी इस मुकाम पे पहुंचा है वो ऐसे ही नहीं पहुंचा. It's not that it's a direct blessing. Blessing तब होगी when you take a step. क्या थी ऐसी situations?
So many examples. In fact, मैं तो एक किताब ही लिख रहा हूँ आजकल और किताब का नाम है Smashed Bashed Yet Not Dashed. मतलब इतनी smashed bashed moments हुए हैं लाइफ के अंदर that I actually have to write a book on it because everyone thinks that okay, this must have been just one straight line, from failure to success and beyond.
व्यू सबको देख के यही लगता है कि कितनी अच्छी लाइफ है, लेकिन उसके पीछे जो कहानी है, जैसे कि हमारे एक स्पॉन्सर ने बताया था जो ट्रॉफीज मैन्युफैक्चरर है, कि सब अवार्ड लेके चले जाते हैं, वो 2 मिनट में खत्म हो जाता है, लेकिन वो 20 साल जो लगे उस स्टेज पे कदम रखने के लिए उसको कोई नहीं जानता. इसीलिए ये शो बनाया गया है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. And so true, and that's why in fact I even had a podcast with the same name. And of course, after season 1, which had my stories, I started bringing on, other guests as well. And the common theme with everyone is that they have got to that point, but उस रास्ते में इतने उनके ठोकरें आए हैं, इतने रुकावटें आए हैं, but they've overcome them, and it's not been easy. So in my life, I mean, several examples. I remember one time when I was 19 years old, first year of college, I was like a South Delhi boy living the life. मतलब अपना Saturday nights तो भूल जाओ, अपना Friday nights अपना घुंघरूज में होते थे, Saturday night gins में होते थे, Thursday night अपना MKOP में होते थे. So I had like a great life. And one day my dad comes home and he says, son, we're wiped out, we're broke and time to get down to work. 19 साल की उम्र थी. And I said that क्या करूँगा, समझ नहीं आ रहा. But anyway, apply किया कुछ, जो अपनी main चीज़ था that I cannot be beaten down. And people say, oh, you must have had an aspiration to become India's #1 gifting company. I said, boss, aspiration तो बहुत दूर की बात थी. शुरुआत सबकी होती है desperation से. Right? It was about not going bankrupt and being on the roads. Yeah. मतलब जो aspiration to say, oh, we're going to be India's largest or Asia's largest, those things come much later. It was just go time. Otherwise, it was go time. So yeah.
What is the one thing that you would like to leave our viewers with as a learning?
So I would just say that you need to stay in action. You need to stay constantly moving forward. Okay, if you can't run, you walk. If you can't walk, you crawl. But you just keep moving forward, right? Everyone says I want on 10x.
My favorite dialogue. Right? You have to claw with your fingernails.
Yeah, and everyone says I want on 10x. I said 10x is not an easy standard. 10x is not a number. 10x is a mindset. Okay, but what happens is sometimes you have to start tiny. Okay, so start tiny, okay, stay in action, keep the momentum going, consistency is key, okay, so don't lose the consistency, every day, one step forward, and eventually you will get there.
Thank you so much, Gaurav, for that insight. और मैं जैसा हमेशा से I have always believed, the life of an entrepreneur is like you're walking on a road, the only way is to step forward, take a step ahead, क्योंकि जब आप एक कदम लेते हैं तो पीछे खाई बन जाती है. You cannot go back. The only way is going forward. हिम्मत बना के आगे बढ़ना ही आपका काम है, तभी आप सफल होंगे. That is what Gaurav Bhagat is telling, और यही सीखा उनसे हमने आज. I thank our sponsors for having called you for this show. Benson Trophies, India's #1 trophy manufacturer. Samay Enterprises, the #1 retail contracting company you can get in touch with for your commercial structures. And definitely Cloud Access, India's #1 cloud platform. And I feel very happy and I'm thankful to Tajiri for this wonderful suit. And we'll be back with our second guest. Until then, do get in touch with Gaurav Bhagat Academy if you really want to go 10x in your life, in your profession, in every way around. Believe me, you will never regret it. You will thank this episode. Thank you. मेरे हिसाब से kindness से भी ऊपर होती है dignity, because if everybody is given the dignity that they have, then kindness automatically follows.
Absolutely. You have to be first people's people.
Yeah.
Then only you can be anything else. आपके काम में transparency, trust, और people should be so comfortable कि आप उनको देख रहे हो या नहीं देख रहे हो, they are following the same SOPs.
I have a friend, मेरा एक दोस्त है जो बहुत अमेजिंग कवि है. उसने एक बार 2 पंक्तियां लिख के दी थी मुझे बहुत पहले, मुझे याद है करीब 15-20 साल हो गए इस बात को. उसमें उन 2 पंक्तियों में इतना कुछ है कि अगर किसी की समझ में आ जाए कि क्या करना है तो आई थिंक जिंदगी पलट सकती है, आप जिस भी राह पे हो. बड़ी सिंपल सी लाइन है, मत बैठ बेकार, पत्थरों पे पत्थर मार, कम से कम एक चिंगारी उठेगी. It is such a powerful statement which always shakes me out of my inertia. कि why are we sitting idle? Why don't we do something about it? Our next guest is someone who's actually taken life as it comes, you know. उन्होंने जिस तरह से जिंदगी जी है, 17 साल की उम्र में उन्होंने घर छोड़ दिया था. She went for her education, न्यूजीलैंड गई, वहाँ पढ़े, उधर जैसे तैसे अपनी लाइफ जी, you know, sponsoring herself also, supporting the family also, education complete किया. She became a pilot flying for Cathay Pacific, ठीक है, and while studying over there she did millions of things to keep herself going, just taking life as it comes. And when the one thing that she cared about most, you know, families are the biggest treasure we have. किसी ने एक बार सही बोला था कि अगर आपको you know, भगवान की परिक्रमा करनी हो तो कहाँ पे जाओगे, तो सिर्फ अपने पेरेंट्स के आसपास घूम गए, बोले कि यही है भगवान. So when she lost her father due to ill health, that is when she decided something needs to be done, and she started Foodphoria, which is a brand that is rising by the hour as we speak among healthy snacking for people, because she wants to make a difference in the lives of people. Transformation is the key, and we have Payal with us over here. Payal Khanna, the founder of Foodphoria. Thank you so much, Payal. At a young age, you have actually, you know, I would say, you know, it's very difficult to climb Everest.
Thank you, Sudarshan, for calling me here. It's been a pleasure, you know, to exchange energies with you. It's been so great.
No, the moment I had come to know of you and you know what your life journey had been like, मुझे लगा आपको इस जगह पे होना चाहिए, क्योंकि मेरा हमेशा से मानना है age is not a number that defines experience. Experience किसी को 10 साल की उम्र में भी एक ऐसा इंस्टेंस हो सकता है जो लाइफ पलट सकता है, वो 20 साल में भी हो सकता है, वो 60 साल में भी हो सकता है. It is irrespective of the of you know your entire age or time span. It is that moment. When you went into Foodphoria and you started a brand, मतलब I would like you to throw some light on that story.
So I lost my father around 2016, and like when I met the doctors, they had a very different diagnosis, that his diabetes was very severe, he had a cardiac arrest. But because I knew him, I was living with him, I realized that it was not the problem. The problem was the kind of depression people get into with the kind of illness they have. When you're sitting with 10 people, आप 10 लोगों के साथ बैठे हो, आप खाना खा रहे हो, but you're not eating the same kind of food. Because आपको एक तरह की illness है, तो आप रसगुल्ला नहीं खा सकते, आप आइसक्रीम नहीं खा सकते, आप कोई डिज़र्ट नहीं खा सकते, आप रोटी भी नहीं खा सकते हो. तो उस केस में you feel aloof. आप बैठे हो in a crowd, but you're still alone. And that's where I think your will starts to give up. You get into depression, and every disease, it is not only diabetes, I think cancer, there are many other diseases जो कि ये create करती हैं, ये depression create करती हैं. And the idea of Foodphoria came from there. The idea was eating equal. आप कोई भी हो, आप हेल्थ फ्रीक हो, आपको PCOD है, आपको कैंसर है, आपको डायबिटीज़ है, बट स्नैकिंग पे राइट सबका है. सबको राइट होना चाहिए, कुछ मीठा खाने का, कुछ नमकीन खाने का. तो देन वी क्रिएटेड Foodphoria.
हाँ, जिंदगी में ये छोटे मोटे यही पल होते हैं, बिकॉज हर रोज बैठ के हम लोग वो चीज एंजॉय नहीं करते. कोई आए तो किसी के साथ बैठ के, जैसे आज भी कोई घर पे आता है, कहते हैं चलो वहां से समोसे मंगाते हैं, यू नो, इट हैपेंस लाइक दैट. या घर पे कुछ पड़ा है, तीखा, नमकीन, मीठा वगैरह. दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग, बिकॉज हम लोगों के अंदर इंडिया में जो एक चीज है वो हॉस्पिटैलिटी है, और वो मतलब इट इज ब्लाइंड फोल्डेड. वो ये देखती नहीं है कि आगे कौन बैठा है, कहाँ से आया है. अगर आया तो हमने सर्व करना ही करना है. सो स्नैकिंग इज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ, एंड यू एक्चुअली बिकम व्हाट यू ईट. बिल्कुल सही कहा गया है.
एग्जैक्टली, यू आर व्हाट यू ईट. आपकी बॉडी एक टेम्पल है, एंड इफ यू फीड इट विद गुड फूड, you will have good thoughts, you will be able to do good work. You know, food can create dopamine exactly the way exercise does.
Absolutely.
So अच्छा खाना खाने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप सब कुछ छोड़ दें. You just need to add value to that, and that's exactly where we come in. Snacking छोड़ना ऑप्शन नहीं है. हर कोई स्नैक करता है, कोई छुपके करता है, कोई जो है कैंटीन में जाके करता है, कोई मैगी खा के करता है. बट पॉइंट इज कि इट शुड हेल्प यू.
और कोई शाम को करता है.
So snacking should be right. It should be done right. अब anyway बहुत तरीके से you are getting exerted. You are stressing out yourself.
Absolutely.
So you need to put right things in you to just increase your levels. Yeah.
Viewers आप सोच रहे होंगे कि okay, she is into a brand called Foodphoria. वो healthy snacks बना रही है, but there are so many people doing, but not the way she does. You know, all the food is roasted. और आपने you have taken refuge in old age homes and shelter homes where old women are there, और उनके हाथ से बनवाते हैं आप. It's nothing is factory produced. That is the beauty of Foodphoria.
Yes, that is exactly what we do. We got in touch with All India Women Association because my mom was a part of it, एंड वहाँ से वी गॉट इन टच विद वुमेन शेल्टर्स. सो अगर हमें बनवाना है, आई डोंट नीड अ प्रोफेशनल पर्सन, क्योंकि रेसिपीज बन चुकी हैं. आई जस्ट नीड एक्सपर्टीज इन अ वे कि हाउ कैन दे ऐड वैल्यू टू दैट रेसिपी. एंड व्हेन वी मेट दीज लेडीज, दे हैव बीन वर्किंग विद मिलेट्स फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम, क्योंकि मिलेट्स कोई नया,
पता है, और पुराने हाथ हैं, उनको पता कि क्या कैसे कूटना और कैसे खिलाना है.
दैट दे एग्जैक्टली नो इट. उनको पता है कि अगर मैंने 1 किलो में इतना रागी डाला है तो 50 किलो में इतना नहीं डलना है, बिकॉज रागी इज वेरी ड्राई इन नेचर. तो उस चीज़ को किस चीज़ से आपको रिप्लेस करना पड़ेगा. दे हैड ऑल द आइडियाज एंड आई वाज एग्जैक्टली लुकिंग फॉर दिस एक्सपर्टीज कि आप उसको अपना समझ के मेक इट विद हैंड, बिकॉज हैंड कैन गिव यू लॉट ऑफ सेंटिमेंट्स इन फूड.
So if you buy food from Foodphoria, you know, the snacks from, you're not only satiating your own, you know, matlab, taste buds, but you're actually helping these women live a life of dignity, and that is what you got. It's a brilliant CSR initiative, I would put it that way. You know, it's like a CSR company in action, I would put it that way.
Thank you so much, Sudarshan. Yes, Foodphoria came into existence because of a social cause, and हर चीज़ में हमें we have to give back to the society. So that is where we started, and we have you know, women from all age groups. कोई अपनी बेसिक एजुकेशन के लिए हमारे साथ काम कर रहा है, कोई अपने ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन को गिफ्ट्स भेजने के लिए हमारे साथ काम कर रहा है. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ सेंटिमेंट्स इन्वॉल्व्ड, एंड खाना इज एक्चुअली अ वेरी इमोशनल थिंग. यू नो, पीपल रिलेट देयर इमोशंस टू फूड.
एक तो जैसे माना गया, यू नो, बहुत टाइम से, इवन आई हैव सीन इट, इट डजंट मैटर कि आप क्या खा रहे हो, कैसे परोसा गया उस पर बहुत कुछ डिपेंड करता है. यू नो, इट इज समथिंग लाइक, यू नो, इट इज लाइक, यू नो, अ हैंड ऑफ लव बेसिकली. यू नो, एक ग्रेन जो होता है ना, वो भी काफी होता है कई बार, राइट?
दैट इज वेरी ट्रू.
How difficult was it to get all of this together?
When we started, it was 2018 end, दिवाली था, उसके बाद तो कोविड ही आ गया. तो जो उस टाइम का एक सेगमेंट था, गेटिंग इनटू, यू नो, दीज वुमेन शेल्टर्स, उनको कन्विंस करना दैट, यू नो, वी आर डूइंग इट फॉर अ कॉज. आप we know that they cannot stand for very long, so we made sure कि वो कुछ घंटे काम करें, like a roster, please come and go and you'll be paid. And then people started enjoying, क्योंकि आप women shelter में कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो, you know, आप बस बैठे हो, आपके son and daughter are sending you money and you are just living your life, or maybe few people don't even have that liberty. So we thought कि, you know, you should earn with dignity. Why do you need this kind of charity? You can earn something on your own. You can send gifts. तो वो एक kind of education देना थोड़ा difficult था, but it all, you know, went on so well.
And your husband also supports you in this. Yes. He's flying at the moment somewhere in Indigo Airlines, I presume, right?
He is so supportive of me, very, very supportive. And he was the first person to start tasting what I make. So he was like my guinea pig. जो भी मैं बना रही हूँ उसको try करो. And he loves chocolate, but he still comes back to Foodphoria to have the snacks, to have the sweets, to have the truffles that we make. He said कि सबसे अच्छा यही है. सारी चॉकलेट एक तरफ जो मेरी वाइफ बनाती है.
देखो, there are those things I can't say because I have to go back home and I have to be, you know, my wife should be smiling when she looks at me. So I will put on my protective gear for that, definitely.
No, but he is like very straightforward. If he doesn't like a food, he'll not eat it. He's that kind of a person, and he loves chocolate.
Yeah, see, there are certain things we cannot fool people with, you know.
Absolutely.
If something is good, it is good. And then the kind of initiative that you have taken, you know, the thing that attracted, you know, our team at Leaders Today most was the way you did it, you know, by involving these women. You're not only just selling a snack out here, you're making lives out here. You know, they have a dignity of their own, you know. मेरे हिसाब से kindness से भी ऊपर होती है dignity, you know, because if everybody is given the dignity that they have, then kindness automatically follows.
Absolutely, you have to be first people's people.
Yeah.
Then only you can be anything else. आपके काम में transparency, trust, और people should be so comfortable कि आप उनको देख रहे हो या नहीं देख रहे हो, they are following the same SOPs because they feel that comfortability कि this is my own thing. I never say that you are working for me. I always say that you are working with me. I don't have any employees. I have a team. I had a small dream, and dream work can only work when
the team works. Absolutely, that's when the dream works, when the team works. I'll ask one more thing. मतलब इसमें इस बीच जो आपकी जो journey रही है, do you miss flying?
In the beginning, yes. Now I don't, because when I see those faces, I feel so complete, so content कि if nothing, I was able to give this back, you know, and I think that my father will be proud of me somewhere, because जो उनका issue था, I was able to notice it, I was able to acknowledge it, and I am trying to work on it. So I think वो बहुत ज़रूरी था कि लोगों को समझ में आए कि it's not the disease which kills you, it's the willpower which just takes you, which just takes the loved one.
Yeah. So you're actually fighting a disease's own willpower.
Correct.
You know, actually, because see, these are all living things.
Right.
A bacteria is actually a living thing.
Correct.
And the proof of this is that, you know, because we take medicines, they are second generation, third generation. वो इसलिए होते हैं क्योंकि second generation का amoxicillin लेते लेते जिस disease के वजह से आप fight कर रहे हैं, उसकी खुद की भी strength बढ़ती जाती है, and it, you know, doesn't remain effective anymore. So you have to take the third generation medicine. That's what she's talking about.
Yes.
I have always believed another thing, you know. India is a sick care country and not a health care country. जब हम बीमार पड़ते हैं हम तभी हेल्थ के बारे में सोचते हैं.
Absolutely, you are absolutely correct. लोगों को लगता है उस टाइम पे डॉक्टर को फीस दे दो, लेकिन अभी ऐसा खाना क्या खाने की जरूरत है. मतलब it's just like that. People think like that, and you are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
कि वो बाद में समझ में आता है कि we should have changed our eating habits to not reach here.
So a friend of mine, he's an insurance agent. He always says this thing. I will transform it to this particular conversation of ours. मेकअप की उम्र में अगर आप ढंग से खाएंगे तो चेकअप की उम्र में पैसे खर्च नहीं होंगे. That is a very important thing that I want to bring to light over here.
Absolutely true. Very, very true. If you will eat well today, there'll be no problem. You won't even look your age, and age is actually just a number.
Yeah.
With the kind of energy food can develop in you, food has the power of actually getting people together.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, appreciates good food, no matter आप किस country.
Yeah. People do potlucks even today.
Food is a language, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and you can just sit and eat together. That is all, and we are trying to create that. Eating equal is our motto.
What is the one thing that you would like to tell our viewers who are on their journey, if they are into similar kind of business, you're learning from life, that you drive inspiration from, and what makes you gallop forward?
See, I believe that success is not an elusive unicorn which only few can grab. It's within us. All the energies are within us. My father used to say, don't restrict yourself कि अगर flying कर ली तो मैं कुछ और नहीं कर सकती. ऐसा नहीं होता. It's about you just embracing the moment and understanding that how to move forward. You have to keep moving. You know, I always say, show up, keep up, and shut up, and let your work speak for you.
I would still say you're still a pilot today, because now you're steering the lives of thousands and hundreds of those ladies जिनके साथ आप attached हैं, and you're taking them from one destination to another, you're guiding them, you're still a pilot. And with this brand, I'm definitely sure, let us take that learning that success is not elusive, it lies in each one of us. And thank you so much for being on the show with us. It was wonderful having had a chat with you, and after this I'm definitely going to steal some snacks so that I can chew them on my way back.
Thank you so much.
So that's it for this episode, viewers. Episode 6 of Leaders Today. We had a wonderful guest. There was Gaurav Bhagat with us in our very first part. Then we had the wonderful Payal Khanna, who has enlightened us with the kind of taste buds that we should develop, and the learning from the episode. You know, हम हमेशा you only what do we say, harvest what you sow. अगर आज मैं कोई कैक्टस का पौधा बोऊंगा तो वो 10 साल बाद वो कैक्टस से निकलेगा और वो किसी ना किसी के पैर में या मेरे पैर में ज़रूर चुभेगा. Your entire content, because even Gaurav Bhagat talked about belief system. What you believe is because of what you sow in your soul. If you sow the seed of a rose, you will become that rose flower that spreads the fragrance wherever it goes, and people would love to visit you and pluck a petal of you, which means that take something from you so that they can rub it off on themselves too. Stay on the path, stay on your journey, look within yourselves, be inspired like Gaurav Bhagat and Payal Khanna, who are here with us today. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Cloud Access, India's #1 cloud platform, Benson Trophies, the #1 trophies manufacturer in the country, and Samay Enterprises, the one you can look up to for your commercial and retail contracting. Thank you so much. Thank you, Siddhant Chandra, for the wonderful Tajiri suit that you have stitched for me. And I'm Sudarshan Ramakrishna Chetlur. We'll be back again in episode 7 soon. Until then, head on.